I've seen a lot of suit brands use the word canvassing as a magic ingredient and then shake their heads at fused, calling it inferior. But is this true? And if so, why? Today we're diving deep into the difference between canvassed and fused suits so you guys can make an informed decision, and by the end of this video, you might be surprised by what you learn. A suit isn't just fabric, it's structure, durability, and comfort. And what's inside determines how your suit will drape, how it's going to breathe, and even age over time. The unseen structure inside a suit determines how it fits, drapes, and canvassing or fusing will play a huge role in this. It will also determine how your suit wears and ages over time. Understanding these differences will help you avoid overpaying or falling for marketing gimmicks. Let's break down fusing, pun intended, and discuss exactly what it is and the pros and cons. Fused suits use a synthetic inner lining that is glued or heat pressed to the suit fabric from the shoulder through the lapels and down the front quarter. It essentially gives structure and shaping to the suit and also makes fabric easier to work with, especially when being mass manufactured. When fusing was first developed, it was thought to be a revolutionary breakthrough in clothing manufacturing, allowing more people to access suiting at a lower cost. It was a technological breakthrough at that time. Sort of like how we might view ChatGPT today. Fusing was developed in the mid-20th century during the post-war economic boom as an alternative to canvassing. After World War II, the demand for affordable professional clothing surged as men returned to the workforce, and fusing was a major advancement in assembly line production. You know, if I just got back from war, I'd be happy to have an affordable suit, and I wouldn't be asking how it was made, canvas or fusing. Some of the problems with fusing techniques are delamination and bubbling. So after repeated wear and exposure to heat and moisture from your body, from weather, even from dry cleaning, the synthetic fusing will separate from the fabric, causing unsightly bubbles and thus ruining your suit. However, advancements in adhesives since the 1950s have offered a solution, and some more advanced fusing techniques can avoid issues to an extent. Great, right? Well, that still doesn't solve the other problem of fusing. When you fuse the fabric, it takes on the characteristics of the synthetic fusing. It becomes a little stiff, it doesn't mold your body like natural canvassing, and it isn't breathable. However, this leads me to an advantage fusing can actually offer, which coincides with the development of superfine fabrics. So let me share a little bit of history in fabric development before I share what the advantage of fusing in this case is. In the 1960s through 1980s, mills developed spinning and weaving techniques to create finer, softer fabrics. Then in around the 1990s, mills gained access to ultra-fine merino wool, which was under 16 microns, and they were able to make what they call super fabrics. They're known as super 150s, 180s, and even 200s and above. These are extremely soft and thus deemed more luxurious. Now, prior to World War II, most suiting fabrics were on the heavier, more structured side of the spectrum, which made superior draping suits that lasted a really long time due to their quality construction and full-bodied fabrics. If any of you guys have thrifted clothing before, you know you can find fantastic pieces from the pre-war periods, and they're fully canvassed and have really nice quality wools, right? But back to my point of an advantage of fusing. These superfine fabrics were developed after fusing, and when they went to market with these extremely soft flowing fabrics, the majority of them were mass produced, and of course, fused. The fusing then helped give structure to these really soft fabrics that were able to create a clean, flush suit of armor with an insanely soft fabric. By the way, something most bespoke tailors won't tell you is how much they hate working with superfine fabrics. They're soft and luxurious, but they're very delicate and hard to work with. So fusing can help quickly make and create a clean draping suit using ultrafine fabrics. But the problem is that super expensive luxurious fabrics now take on the characteristics of that synthetic fusing. So they're going to become stiffer, they don't mold to your body like a natural canvas, and it isn't breathable. So is it really worth it? And now you may ask yourself, is it okay to use fusing in order to buy a lower price suit? Regardless of the fabric, you have the same benefit. It gives shape, but it won't mold to your body, be breathable, and no matter what. Over time, the wool fabric will outlast the glue that holds the fusing together, and there's going to be separation. Canvassing is the inside layer or layers of a suit, often made with natural fibers such as horsehair or wool, or blends of the two. that are sewn into the suit between the fabric and the lining. Canvasing provides structure and shape while allowing the suit to move naturally and be breathable. But to really understand the process and get to the pros and cons, we need to know how the canvasing is attached. It's using a sewing method called pad stitching. Pad stitching is a hand sewing technique used to attach layers of fabric, particularly the canvas interfacing to the outer cloth of a jacket or coat, on the lapels, the collar, and through the chest of a tailored garment. This intricate process involves a series of small diagonal stitches, which are nearly invisible on the reverse side. This will secure the canvas while allowing the garment to maintain flexibility or that free floatingness. This technique gives a two-dimensional flat piece of fabric structure and a 3D shape. It ensures that the fabric molds beautifully to the shape of the body, resulting in a smooth roll of the lapel and a natural contour. Seriously, fusing can't replicate it. The major advantages are in the intricate making, which lead to a breathable garment that's going to mold your body over time. But it's very costly and takes a lot of time to make, and usually why only handmade bespoke tailors will be able to offer this kind of work. Then, a very important change happened in suit manufacturing. I remember back in the early 2010s, I was visiting a factory in China that touted it had a machine that could pad stitch a lapel in less than 60 seconds. I was super skeptical at first, then I saw this thing in action. I was quite amazed. Again, another technological advancement that changed the way suits were made. Normally, a tailor could hand pad stitch lapel canvassing in, I'd say, about 4 or 5 hours. With this machine, one person could do hundreds in that amount of time. Manufacturers were then able to offer higher quality canvas suits that were industrial made. Now, one thing to note about industrial makers and large factories is the cost increases or decreases based on the amount of steps and people they need on the manufacturing line. So replacing a fusing machine with a canvassing machine didn't actually change the operational cost much. But the factories realized they could charge more for full canvas suits based on the market's demand for something better. I think it's justifiable, given you need a pair of these machines, and one for the left lapel, one for the right lapel, and they cost over $100,000. I also learned that even if a suit is fully canvassed, it doesn't mean it isn't fused. I'll repeat that. Even if a suit is fully canvassed, that doesn't mean it is not fused. Large-scale suit manufacturers have a goal to operate at full capacity in order to maximize efficiency and thus their profits. And fusing fabrics makes them a lot easier to work with when you're passing it down an industrial line. I'm somewhat neutral on hand pad stitching versus machine pad stitching, but I'll always try to go for the hand pad stitched if possible, because it depends a little bit on what's accessible to you. And either way, you'll have a suit that will mold your body, be more breathable, and last much longer. But if the suit is fused and canvassed, it's a waste. Just a total waste. Now, there is a way to test if a suit is canvassed. If you pinch the front of the suit fabric near the buttons and the back, and kind of wiggle them and separate them, you can feel a canvas floating in the middle. However, it's very hard to see using this test if it has been fused too. I think the best way is to look at the salesperson in the eye and ask them straight up, is this fused or not? Do they give you a straight answer or a roundabout answer? Do they even know or care? If you look around, you will be sure to find a proper suit maker or someone who offers made-to-measure services that can give you an honest and educated answer. I've been offering made-to-measure and bespoke suits through my career. And with social media and technology, it's easier to connect with you guys, even if we're an ocean apart or away. Now, if you want to learn more about how my virtual tailoring works, I'll leave a link in the description below. Full canvassing is essentially from the shoulder seam through the lapels, all the way down the front quarters of a suit. Some tailors will actually strip out some of these layers or go 2/3 or halfway down to keep a suit a little bit lighter if that's what they're going for. The canvassing is also most vital in the shoulder and chest and lapels in order to give shape while maintaining breathability and longevity in the suit. Now, a lot of industrial made suits have an option of fusing, half, or full canvassed. And that's pretty much in order from the cheapest to the most expensive. Although the cost of canvassing materials will increase slightly, and the Strobel pad stitching machines are very expensive, the actual operating costs of producing the suit are almost the same. Nobody will say this, but I think it's a way for a manufacturer to charge a little bit more when the operational costs are nearly the same. So when choosing between half or full canvas, I think the important thing is if it's fused or not. Always avoid fusing when it's canvassed. So should you always buy a canvas suit? If possible, absolutely. Here's the best way to decide. On a budget, a well-made half canvas suit is a great choice. Do you want the best? Well, full canvas suits are worth it for frequent wearers, and especially if you can support a local, bespoke, handmade artisan. Avoid cheaply made, fully fused suits if you want longevity. At the end of the day, understanding suit construction helps you buy smarter. So now that you know what to look for, you'll never fall for marketing gimmicks again. If this video helped you, help me out. Hit that like button and subscribe for more menswear insights. Also, comment below if you have something to share. If you like full canvassing or fusing, which I doubt. Anyway, see you next time. Thanks for watching.